All right. I have hit the go live.
Okie doke.
We is live. I
Okay.
didn't double check this part.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
Oh no. There we go.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
There we
I
go.
heard it.
All right. Woohoo. Location redacted. It's my favorite place to record in.
Oh, is that where you're at?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wondered.
I would not be holding my microphone if given the option.
Oh, I just noticed you're holding it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man.
I'm
Alright,
going home tomorrow. I'm gonna go home tomorrow night though.
So GoFundMe for a portable mic stand, just in case.
I have one, but it's a portable mic, so I don't like it. It's a different microphone.
I installed the Audacity update, but it's just like verifying and taking forever. I know. Hello. Also, look at this wine pour. I'm finishing the bottle. And I've already had a glass. Ha ha ha. It's not working. Why? Why? Mirror, mirror. Cat
Because this is a night that I want to get it done quick, and so therefore it's going to take for fucking ever.
Facts.
Not because I don't like Cora or anything. That has nothing to do with it.
I had to force quit it, and it's starting to actually
hit it and
do it
quit it.
now.
Hit it, quit it.
Well, at least I thought it was. Oh, it's work. It's going. Things are happening. Oh, things happened. It's good. It's fine. Okay.
Yay.
Okie doke.
Martini, hello.
I just need to open our script.
No, it's been amazing. If anything, I was cold. I need to spend more time outside though. That's part of my whole
We're
issue.
cold. I went on
I've been
like an hour long.
inside. I've been inside all day.
That tracks. I went on like an hour long walk with my sister and her dog, and it was hot. I would have run if it wasn't so hot, but I was like, okay, walk is fine. Did you like what I named the episode?
Huntress, Seductress.
It rhymed. Well, it kind of rhymes. I liked it.
I need like a third word. Huntress, Seductress, something, something, Huntress.
Um,
Okay, are we ready?
yeah, you broke my brain. I was trying to think of one. I was like, well, biotic doesn't rhyme, clearly. but I am ready.
All right. Oh. All right. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Two Girls, One Ship, the podcast where we analyze, rate, and review all that the world of video game romances has to offer. I'm Genesis, the girl who's recording from redacted remote location yet again. So sorry for any audio oddities or if I sound a little different tonight.
Yeah, I'm Bravada, the girl who believes in allowing for life to happen. So I'm sure our listeners do too, because we are all human and shit happens.
Yeah, but I still like to call it out at least. This is not the norm. If this is your first episode here, this is not the norm. And please be welcome to this beautiful chaos. You should also know that our podcast centers on character and romance analysis and doesn't shy away from exploring the fun of fucking.
Or from the deep emotional connections built between two or more characters using specific in-game dialogue. So if you want to stay spoiler-free, then this is not the podcast for you.
So here's your fucking spoiler alert.
You want to know what's really cool? I wasn't recording, and neither is this.
Oh, so we have to redo it. I mean, I actually was recording. I started recording after you started talking. I was like, oh yeah, girl, you need to record. That's funny. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me just delete this, I guess.
Hold on. Oh, wait, no. We're good. The stream is recording. I'll just pull that.
Oh,
But I
works for
can
me.
hear her alarms going off, so.
Oh, well, I'm happy to talk for just a minute, or however long it takes. I can word vomit with the best of them. So I know my sister already knows. I don't know if anyone's in here right now besides her, but it's fine because whatever. But like before, what was it? I don't know, like an hour ago, Jen sends me this link to this article that is called like PAX West is horny or something like that. From The Stranger, I think. I've never heard of that. Anyway, I need to ask Jen how she found that article. But anyway, I was quoted in it
I
because
have
of our
our Google
panel.
alert set.
Oh, what
Anytime
does the
two
Google alert
girls,
do?
anytime somebody, like anytime two girls, one ship is mentioned anywhere, I get an email.
Well, shit, that's smart. I love technology. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm really proud of the quote that was chosen for me. And now that you're back, I can stop talking about it. My sister I sent her the link. She read it. So
Okay. I was actually surprised that wasn't I'm your girl today. Okay, there we go. Okay, I think we're good. Yep. I'm recording. It's recording. Hold on, is Sam recording?
So here's your fuck.
Sam records. We're good.
cool.
We're at your line. Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're at mine. Thanks for the spoiler alert, N7. And just like with all of our previous episodes, we'll assume that you have some background knowledge of the game and character in question, but we'll be providing context for those of you who may be unfamiliar.
Today, we are still trying to survive in the Andromeda galaxy with our motley crew of beings who all bring some special skills to the table. You need I can't talk today. Had too much wine already. You need some specific piece of tech that may or may not be illegal. You go to your girl Vetra. You need the ship's engine to give her all it's got. You trust Gil to make it happen. You need to be needlessly thrown into danger because someone can't plan ahead literally at all. PB's got it covered. But if you need someone who is so strong biotically she could warp a steel girder by the age of 13, who trained with Asari Huntresses because they were the only ones who could handle your biotics. You need Cora Harper from Mass Effect Andromeda.
I know it's not the same, but I'm a good listener.
I hope you're as good at being Pathfinder. I said I wouldn't get in the way, and I meant it. But I prepped for years as your father's second. Then he chooses you? An untrained Pathfinder and all this mess to fix? The hell was he thinking?
Is this going to be a problem, Cora?
I don't want a rival. Just answers. It's done. Best I can do now is be your second. Keep your father's mission alive. Then maybe we'll all get what we came out here for.
You, me, side by side? I like the sound of that.
Don't be charming when I'm mad at you.
So, Cora Harper. As you've just heard, she has some cute, flirty banter with Scott Ryder. You can actually change the writer's name to whatever you want, but if you maintain the Scott and or Sarah, the people around you actually use that name. It's kind of cool. And we didn't mention it with Vetra's episode because Vetra is bi, but Cora is straight. So only a male writer can romance her. I also kind of find that dirty. Mass Effect Andromeda has defined sexualities, like all of the Mass Effect games so far. So with that clear, let's talk origin story. Cora was born and raised in poverty, homeschooled by her parents on an independent cargo freighter. She didn't interact much with anyone besides her parents, and she would hide in the crawl spaces on the ship for some privacy. Probably how many people live in the galaxy. The similarities with the average young human ended as she grew up. When her biotic powers manifested, she was an exceptionally strong biotic, even as a child. And untrained biotics are huge accident risks on starships. Her family couldn't afford to send her to training. So somehow she maintained control until she left for the Systems Alliance at 18. I feel like Jack and Cora would either be the ultimate biotic trauma bonded besties or absolutely fucking hate each other.
I kind of lean towards hate each other because, like Miranda, Cora has a very strong belief in a specific organization that then gets shattered with an experience. So, and Jack is not about hero worship. But anyway, we'll get to that, I guess. But maybe they'll like each other eventually. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm thinking at the ends of their story arcs if they would like each other.
I'd like to think so. Not many super strong human biotics going around, so they're in an exclusive club for sure. So Cora was still wicked strong for a biotic, even amongst the Alliance. So her superiors sent her to an Asari commando unit called Taline's Daughters via the Valkyrie program, an Alliance and Citadel Council interspecies military initiative. Say that 5 times fast. Cora was not given any special treatment for being the only human woman in the unit, so she just had to get good through good old-fashioned grit and determination. She served with the Daughters for 4 years, learning to idolize the literary works of Sarissa Theris, a legendary Asari commando, memorizing them in her limited spare time, because, why not? After 4 years with the Asari, she didn't re-enlist in the Alliance and instead joined the Andromeda Initiative. Oh, and her parents kind of just disappeared during this time while she was away. She says that she thinks their old freighter must have malfunctioned somewhere, but she never found them before leaving for Andromeda. And that just sucks. Like, that just really sucks. Cora will tell you that she never really felt like she fit in anywhere. Amongst humans, her high-powered biotics make people nervous at best or threatened at worst. She felt at home with the Asari Huntresses, But at the end of her first enlistment, her CO, Nasira Takosh, encouraged her to join the Andromeda initiative, leading Cora to feeling rejected. And also, she's not an Asari, so she always had that layer of separation.
For sure. You know that the Asari were not like fully all accepting. Yeah, a human can totally hang with us. But once she joined the Alliance, she soon found a new place as Alec Ryder's second.
No, my dear. I'm sorry.
What?
You said alliance. You said initiative. I'm only correcting you because I know I can't edit that out later. So I need you to say it right.
Oh,
I love you.
oh, it's fine. Toasty corrects me all the fucking time. You should see how many words I'm saying wrong on that one. Jesus.
Oh boy.
No, I'm also very distracted tonight. Her alarm keeps going off.
Do what you need to do.
I need to put up content. There we go. Once she joined the initiative, she soon found a new place as Alec Ryder's second. Yeah, your dad. Alec was an N7 before he joined the initiative, and he appreciated Cora's frank honesty and welcomed her powerful biotics. Cora found a new mentor in Alec, whose vision of creating a new civilization where everyone had a place, including AI and overpowered biotics, was a siren song to her. That worked out well until, your dad dies and names you as his replacement. Passed over for the role of Pathfinder by the Nepo baby with no training? Yeah, that's gotta sting. And yet another example of a trusted mentor pushing Cora in a direction that she didn't expect. She longs for belonging, but doesn't everyone? But she also longs for a place just for her, which is something that she's never had before. Living in space means living on top of one another, but also never getting to hear the wind through the trees or smell fresh roses on the air. Cora has nurtured a love of plants almost as tenderly as the small garden that she has on the Tempest.
They'll be starting crops soon. Can't tell if they have enough water or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids, but I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helios.
So there's a heart soft as rose petals under that uniform.
I got plenty under here, pal. Does the big bad Pathfinder have a soft spot too?
I might. For certain someones.
Good to know. We've all got our something.
So funny. You'll notice in a lot of these clips that we're gonna play that, like, I swear this writer sounds like such a horn dog, but remember, it's because he's picking all the flirt options, and the flirting is very heavy-handed, like the verbal banter between Cora and Ryder. We'll talk about it later, but Cora is a unique romance option in that you have options with how it pans out or pans down. More like, if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, I don't think wanting a garden of roses makes you a softie, but I get we needed a way to talk about what's under her uniform. Yes, she's hot. Let's keep it moving with how she interacts with the other companions. That is, she doesn't. Not really. She holes up in her Tempest garden and starts to experience some friction with her foil, as they do. Her foil is PB. PB. I swear I like you, but only a little. Cora is a human who reveres the Asari and would probably sell her left tit to be one if given the chance. But PB is an Asari who hates her culture and their mindset. PB doesn't care about the fate of the Lucinia, the Asari Ark, while Cora is worried sick over it. PB is technically old by human standards at around 100 years old, but she is a baby by Asari standards. Whereas Cora is used to being the youngest around her Asari unit, being somewhere in her 20s. Cora just seems older because she is a no nonsense, by the book rule follower who religiously puts the needs of others ahead of her own. Meanwhile, PB is very free spirited, to say the least, and she only ever looks out for herself.
As with all foils, they should probably just fucking get it over with. But we are romancing Cora this playthrough, so you can't have her, PB. That tension aside, there is also some initial tension between Cora and your writer due to her belief that Alec favored his child as Pathfinder instead of her, despite her extensive qualifications for it. As the romance develops, this tension is resolved as writer proves themselves and and Cora comes to respect and even admire writer. Cora's admiration for discipline, duty, and loyalty are important themes in her character arc. Her relationship with Ryder evolves from professional respect to emotional intimacy, especially as Ryder's leadership in the Andromeda initiative helps her reconcile her feelings of being overlooked.
Did you come out here with anyone? Maybe someone you served with?
I had my fun on shore leave. Nothing serious, though. Sorry, Huntresses, figure things out. But I was there for soldiering, not romance.
You're not technically military anymore.
Can't get anything past you, can I?
I love what she's like, we just masturbated all the time or had sex together, but it was not serious. I mean, that's what I assume from this, but do elaborate, Cora. Tell me more. Speaking of Asari Huntresses, did you know that Cora can actually meet her Huntress hero, Sarissa? How cool. But you know what they say about meeting your heroes. So let's get into Cora's loyalty mission, which is not only required for her romance, as they usually are, but also for the survival of our Milky Way peeps in the grand scheme of settling in Andromeda. We need our Asari friends. Cora's idealization of the Asari, particularly their leadership and hierarchical structure, stands in contrast to her own sense of uncertainty within the initiative. She views the Asari as a model of efficiency and discipline, and finding them is not just a mission of duty, but also one of personal importance. At the beginning of the mission, Cora's emotions are a mix of anxiety, frustration, and hope. Gotta have that balance. She is still grappling with that self-doubt over not being chosen as the next Pathfinder, though. So Cora wants to prove herself, and finding the Asari arc becomes a way to validate her own sense of duty and leadership. After tracking some transponders and flight recorders and doing all that stuff, we finally get the last known location of the Lucinia, and bad news, but no surprise to anyone, it's under attack by the Ket.
So, shock, very surprised. They find the ship, but Cora is puzzled by how wrong things have gone for the Asari. I'm good. It's fine. I just knew that that sound was going to show up on the recording, so. The perfect, disciplined leadership she admired is shown to be vulnerable. Matriarch Ishara chose to sacrifice herself so that the rest of the Asari on the Ark could survive. And this act shocks Cora, and while she respects the decision, it forces her to confront the reality that even the best leaders sometimes must make difficult choices in impossible situations. Leadership isn't always about calm control and hierarchy. Sometimes it's about making hard, unglamorous choices. One of the key aspects of Cora's character growth during this mission is her gradual acceptance that leadership is more complex than she initially believed. Her time with the Asari had given her a somewhat idealized version of leadership, one rooted in rank, discipline, and tradition. Things will always go smoothly and according to plan. However, the realities of the Asari Ark's situation challenge these ideals. She learns that leadership requires flexibility and is often defined by tough, sometimes painful choices.
Shepard enters the chat. No, but for real. By the end of the mission, Cora comes to terms with her role within the Pathfinder team and the Andromeda Initiative. It always feels good to find your place. She no longer feels the need to measure herself against scores or prove herself through rigid standards. Instead, she begins to embrace her own leadership style and her role as second in command to Ryder. She recognizes that her value isn't in following the footsteps of the Asari or becoming the Pathfinder, but in contributing to the mission in her own way. In other words, she finds her belonging within herself. Too often, people seek acceptance from others, and while we do need a degree of that, we are social animals, we can get caught up in only looking for external validation. In the words of RuPaul, if you can't love yourself, how in the hell you gonna love somebody else?
Work. This mission helps Cora with that too. Up until this point, she has struggled with feelings of frustration and resentment that Ryder, and not her, was chosen as the Pathfinder. After seeing firsthand the complexities of leadership on the Asari Arc, Cora develops a deeper respect for Ryder's leadership style. She realizes that being a Pathfinder is more about adaptability and making tough decisions. Qualities she begins to see as strengths in Ryder, and that she can help support as his second. Cora learns that true leadership isn't about holding on to power or position, but about service and responsibility to others. She also learns exactly why you shouldn't meet your heroes. Yeah, remember Huntress Sarissa, the one that Cora is constantly quoting at you? Well, it turns out that Sarissa took the whole thing about. Turns out that Sarissa took that whole thing about hard, unglamorous choices a little too seriously. And she abandoned matriarch Ashara in favor of some tactical data left on about the cat. Sarissa believed that the data module would help the Lucinia escape the cat, thinking that abandoning Ashara was necessary to sacrifice to thinking abandoning Ashara was a necessary sacrifice to save the rest of the Ark. But she didn't tell the other Asari this, thinking that it was good for their mental health to see her as a war hero. Justifying this by telling herself that they needed the morale. But her stealing that data module is ultimately what set the elite cat hunter team called the Decimation to go after the Lucinia. Anything called the Decimation, I don't want to fight it. No thanks. And you can keep this secret or expose her. But either way, Cora's idol is dead to her.
Hey, you okay?
Can I just do today over again? And not have a Pathfinder stripped of everything she loves? I put so much faith in Sarissa, but the Asari were just as lost as we are.
We know our mission. I think we're finding our way pretty well.
Should have known better than to say that to a Pathfinder. Thank you for being there, on the Lucinia. Can I tell you something?
Anything.
The old man was right to choose you as Pathfinder instead. I don't blaze a trail. I always look for the mentor, their plan. As a Pathfinder, my mistakes would be worse than Sarissa's.
Everyone makes mistakes. You're still you. Smart, talented, wonderful Cora.
That's what you see?
It's what I always see.
How? You're so important and damn heroic. And all I see in the mirror is Sarissa, the Pathfinder I might have been.
Sarissa? She lied just to stay a hero. You fight, you save lives, and you don't need applause for doing it.
That isn't...
It is true. Deal with it.
Look, I know we flirt. The other person flirts back, and it's fun. But real talk? I feel a hell of a lot better with you here.
Would a hug be okay?
Absolutely. Thanks. I'm okay. Or I will be. Just have some thinking to do. If I can get you off my mind.
Oh my gosh. I mean, girl, I understand the feeling of you aren't good enough, like the imposter syndrome. We'll get to that, I think, in the mid break. I understand that very well. But real talk, that hug, you probably heard that audio. The hug was a QuickTime button press. And instead of just like startling her with a hug, once you've pressed that to match that frantic pace, you had to push that button. Ryder pauses and asks, I love that. I love that. And I love her response of like, I'm okay, or I will be. Like, it's so good checking in and asking about touches. We love consent. We love that open, vulnerable dialogue. This relationship is shaping up to be a really good one. But before we can really get into the relationship, we need to take a quick mid break to listen to some fun facts, hear from sponsors of the show, and thank our lovely, lovely patrons.
Mid-break dance. There are a lot of sea dances, aren't there?
Baila, baila esta cumbia. That one.
La cucaracha.
Oh God.
A conga line.
Congo line. That's a good one.
Um,
My mind's going blank. I only had Selena in my head. That's it.
I was like, is there something Cazador related? The Cazador stab? Cazador is the first sea name that came to mind. All right, all right. Cora is voiced. Time to get into the fun facts. Cora is voiced by Jules Dejean, an actor with many credits to her name, which include the voice of Faith from Mirror's Edge, Triss in the first Witcher game, and Christina Bell in Batman Arkham Knight.
Sorry. Cora actually, this is a crazy fact. Cora has the same last name as the elusive man. Like, the founder and leader of Cerberus, Jack Harper. His name is really Jack Harper. That's his real name, according to the comic Mass Effect Evolution. Probably just a coincidence, right? Cora is obviously not a terra firma diehard, so yeah.
I think they are related. I think that it's something. It's got to be something. Because there are no coincidences in fiction. People debate whether Cora is the most powerful biotic in the series. Now, it's hard to say, of course, but at the very least, she is one of the most powerful human biotics around. I think it's safe to say that Cora, Kaden, and Jack all vie for that top spot.
Yeah, facts. This next fact is not really a fact because I couldn't find any actual data on this. But based on popular opinion that from like lists that different game magazines and game stuff has posted to Reddit posts I read, Cora is like the most popular romance option out of all the Andromeda choices. And BioWare definitely seemed to think so too. because her cutscenes seem like a lot better graphically and otherwise than the other romance options in this game. It's kind of like the Astarian compared to everyone else in Baldur's Gate 3. Like Cora was the favorite of the developers too. So you can tell.
Yeah. Speaking of, Portland is known as the city of roses, and for Cora tonight, I am wearing rose scented lotion and wearing rose colored glasses, thinking that I will be able to play Baldur's Gate 3 tonight with the new updates that completely, albeit temporarily, fucked my mods. And
I'm sorry.
I'll be right
I'm a
back.
console player. Okay. I have no mods, so I don't know that pain. I did
You
play
also
with
don't have
mods.
the patch yet. Haha.
No, I haven't played the patch yet. I started the Descent DLC yet again. I've played it before, but I'm finishing up another playthrough of Inquisition to prep my body and spirit for Veilguard. I must say, firstly, that everyone freaking out about spoilers on Twitter, I refuse to call it X, right now, that drove Kayla Elizabeth, the big, like mainly BioWare, but just games in general content creator, like she deactivated her accounts because people were being so awful because she was invited to like a Veilguard press release thing, and I'm not sure where it was, but that's just bullshit. Everyone needs to be nice. And secondly, if you don't want to hear spoilers, you kind of just have to not go on the internet right now. And it's really easy to filter stuff on social medias. You don't need to block creators. And also, I would argue if they are only sharing things that the studio themselves have shared, I don't qualify that as a spoiler. Whether or not you want to go in blind to a game is your prerogative. But if the studio who made the game has decided it is something that they are willing to share prior to the game's release, shut the fuck up and deal with it. That's up. They created the story. They're telling you what is okay to see before you get to experience the story in full. Deal with it. Don't bully people who are talking about it. It's public information.
Did Kala go to the event?
Yeah. And she deactivated her account because people were bullying her
Did
about
she
her
talk
talking
about?
about it. Hmm?
Like, what did she say?
Nothing. Like I saw some
Oh.
of them and it was just like, oh, beware, guys. There's going to be lots of spoilers, especially on September 19th. Like she knows something is going to be released that day. So she's like, just be wary of coming online. Like she was just saying that stuff. I have
Okay.
no idea why people were being so. I mean, people are going crazy all over the place. Like I saw Tanya sharing a list earlier of people
Mhm.
like are sharing lists of creators to block who were invited to that event to try and keep their peace so that they don't get quote unquote spoiled. But it's like they're not spoiling anything. They're sharing information that is publicly available that BioWare has decided to release. I don't qualify that as a spoiler. That is just
Yeah.
marketing. If you don't want to see marketing, throw your phone away and stay offline or deal with it. This is the day and age we live in. I'm sorry. There's no more going into anything blind. Like either put your little self out of the Twitter space or wherever you're seeing it. It seems to mainly be on Twitter right now. Or just deal with it because it's marketing. They're not classifying it as a spoiler. They very carefully have chosen what to release about this game. Like if anyone is going to care about spoilers, it's going to be the studio who fucking made the game. So if they're sharing it, it's fine. I don't know. That really pissed me off because we're in this space, who knows? Someday we may be invited to an event like that. We were just at PAX. Like these people are people that we know or people we know. And I just don't think that's fair. So I wanted
Oh
to
yeah.
say something about it in the mid break.
Absolutely. Like don't block Tanya. Cypher of Tear is amazing human. Absolutely adore them. So the girls support Cypher of Tear for
Yeah,
sure.
the girls the girls support people in the games industry, and like we all know they already suffer the vitriol of gamers as it is enough. But like to literally say, oh, these people are talking about publicly available information that is literally marketing material for an upcoming game. Let's block them because I don't want to know anything about the game. Guys, we've had 10 years since a Dragon Age game has come out. And for the majority of those 10 years, we knew nothing about it. The game that they are releasing next month didn't even exist when they first started working on the Dragon Age game because of that like the MMO they're originally making. Like, it's all new. I don't know. It's annoying to me. Like, if you don't want to know anything, then turn off your phone until Halloween. Okay?
I don't want to know anything about Veilguard. So you know what? I've only been on Twitter to post my own stuff, and then I get off of it.
Yeah. They're
I'm
acting
not
like
scrolling
BioWare's
through and I'm like,
waterboarding them with these IGN videos. And it's like, no, they're not. If you're clicking on the link, if
yeah, I
you
haven't
read
watched
so
any of them.
fast that while you're scrolling, you captured something someone said and a thing, like, you know what I mean? Like all you have to do is filter out hashtag Dragon Age. And even still, maybe you see something, it's not a spoiler. The game's not out yet. That's stuff that's been available. I'm sorry if you didn't want to know the names of the companions or like the fact that Kunari have smooth foreheads now, which kind of makes me mad. I understand the art design. I don't understand. That's like the one thing I'm like, I wish they kind of stuck with DA2's look because that was peak Dragon Age design for me. But I don't care. Like, I'm still going to play it, whatever.
Yeah,
And I don't want, no one should be bullied online for talking about a game that they're excited about.
yeah. Okay. Whew. That was a lot. To follow that up, we will shout out our lovely, lovely patrons. Thank you so much. Big hearts, all the loves to Toasty and Apollo, Becky and Daddy Bat Night, Stone Mystios and Muffiny Cake, Win, Evie from HR, Remy Wolf, and I almost called you Master Davita. I'm gonna leave it in because I think you'll laugh and get a kick out of that one.
I thought you were saying Mass Effect Davita or something.
You know what? I don't know what what words tried to combine there, but it came out as Master Davita, so I'm just gonna leave it. I think Magister would get a kick out of that and just laugh.
Thank you so much, patrons. Thank you so much. And let me just say that we have a very exciting interview coming up this weekend. And because you are patrons, whenever that episode is released, you'll get it early. And I'm sure you'll be very happy about it. So if you want episodes early, you should sign up for our Patreon. Hashtag
Yeah.
marketing.
Hashtag.
Okay, anyway, Jen, it's time to talk roses. I am not a naturally gifted gardener, but I do have a small assortment of plants growing sadly on my balcony right now. I was able to buy some soil and plant food from the store, though. Cora wants a garden, but all she has is some inhospitable Helios dirt right now. What's a girl to do?
Soil converter. No remnant terraformer, but it makes sandy dirt into something useful. Eventually. Add seeds, some rain, and you've got a garden.
That's right. You wanted a garden of your own.
It'll take years. I might not even see it. But that's okay. Asari think in centuries. Lay a foundation, then step away. Let it grow into something you might never expect. Pathfinder training was my foundation. Gave me a whole galaxy of directions I could go. I don't need someone else's plan. Just a good beginning. The first seeds of a garden. Or someone I need in my life.
Someone you need. I could get used to hearing that.
I'll have Sam make a recording.
I want to keep hearing it from you.
You will.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The garden is a metaphor for growth and new beginnings, like the start of a relationship, if it wasn't clear. I love me some symbolism, but usually I like it a little more subtle than this.
Yeah, I mean, I like this moment overall, but really? Her entire room is botany related. She has talked multiple times about plants. Some of her banter while driving around is about the new flora. And Ryder's response is, "Oh, yeah, you wanted a garden." Come on, dude. But the rest of the scene is pretty good, so I guess I'll let slide. Choosing to kiss Cora here is the proverbial lock-in scene with her romance. And it happens later than you might expect in the game. But Cora is a consummate business professional, even with her sexy wordplay with Ryder. Much of Cora's storyline revolves around her sense of duty, making the romance with Ryder a storyline that balances professional responsibilities with personal desires. Cora's journey is one of learning to trust and embrace her feelings, which contrasts with her disciplined military oriented background. Cora's romance is distinct because of its slow burn and the way that it intertwines with her professional identity. Unlike other romances that might focus on more lighthearted exchanges, Cora's relationship with Ryder involves deeper, more serious discussions. Cora's relationship with Ryder involves deeper, more serious discussions about duty, purpose, and the future of the initiative. It's just like an Asari to think in centuries, isn't it?
Like we said earlier, prior to her loyalty mission, much of Cora's romantic progression with Ryder was hindered by unresolved feelings of resentment and frustration. Post loyalty mission, Cora becomes much more emotionally open with Ryder. This is key for the romantic relationship because it allows Cora to be vulnerable in ways she wasn't before. The mission showed her that leadership and strength can coexist with vulnerability and trust, and she starts to let her guard down around Ryder, allowing the romance to progress in a more intimate and trusting direction. Much of Cora's arc before and during the loyalty mission revolves around her sense of duty. First to Alec Ryder, then to the Pathfinder team, and finally to the Asari Huntresses and the Ark. But after this mission marks a shift from a sense of duty to one of desire. We are all about that here. Cora's romance with Ryder represents her personal freedom and her acceptance of her own individuality. The romance culmination scene happens later in the game after the Ket are defeated at Kai Tessira. I'm sorry, I swear I've played this. Anyway, that place with all the glowy lights that looked like you were inside Tron. So in the quest, The Journey to Meridian, Cora tells Ryder that there is a very serious lighting malfunction in his quarters and he better go investigate it.
Malfunction, huh? I think I've been set up.
You got me. I wanted an excuse to see you.
And now that you're here, what exactly do you want to see?
Someday, being a smartass will get you in trouble.
Nah, I've got a good woman watching my back.
Not when you've got her distracted.
Distracted by my...
I want...
I'm gonna show you how perfect you are. Even if it takes me all night.
So there are actually two scenes that can follow this dialogue. And I kind of really like that. There's one that we refer to as the chaste scene, and one that's a little bit more bootylicious than the other. Let's talk about the chaste scene first. because I absolutely love it. After I learned about this option in Andromeda quickly jumped up the list of Jen's physically favorite games. The fact that I can have a caring, emotionally driven, meaningful relationship that doesn't end because I would rather star flicks and chill? Hell yeah. But Jen, you're the sex scene breakdown sign. That isn't a sex scene. Yes. Yes, it is. Asexual is asexuality. The straights and the L's and the G's and the B's and the Q's and now the T's are getting their representation in gaming. I'm not sure if intersex people have been represented in big studio gaming, but the fact that I can't think of any off the top of my head means that we obviously need more representation from that. Sorry, soapbox side tangent done for now. But the A is for asexual and aromantic. Arrows have had a loose representation for as long as someone could walk into a brothel and get a little scene. But for those who want a relationship where there isn't any pressure for sex, no disappointment walk away when it doesn't happen, or worse, when they break up with you for it, looking very hard at you, Mass Effect 2. Not tonight just means not tonight. Not ever. And okay, so I love this scene not only for the cute way that they cuddle and watch the stars together, but for the fact that their relationship stays intact after it. Do you have thoughts on that?
My thoughts are, namely, that you have an option that you can stay together with her either way. You're not penalized for not having a sex scene or not wanting one. And two, the fact that you get a scene. It's not just like a shot of you spooning or something and then fade to black and that's it. You actually get a scene that people who choose the sex scene with Cora don't see. So you are rewarded either way with a special scene just for you. That is great. Love that. And both are I'm not sure. I think they're about the same length too. They're just really, really cute. Well, not the one isn't cute. The one is very steamy. The other one is very cute.
I think the physical one is a little bit longer, but not by much. The fact that they shaped the stars together in that one, it's so freaking cute. Like, I wish,
Yeah.
like, a real world date for me would be doing that stuff and then doing the other stuff.
Yeah. It would be both.
It would be both. Both.
Honestly, I wish you could have both. Like that's something, the only thing I would ever add to any romance is those intimate scenes like that, where it's not a sex scene, but it's very physically close and cute and loving. And then you also have sex scenes should you want them. I think you should always have an option in romances, period, to have a sex scene or to just have a cuddle.
Yeah. Agreed. All right. But there is the other dialogue wheel. The other side. Flip it around and, agree to some truly alone time. The camera fades to black and comes back to naked ass. Just straight up full on ass on display. Ryder and Cora are standing there, rocking back and forth, swaying hip to a rhythm of their bodies that only they can hear. And I'm sorry, Miranda, who? Cora has got a bubble booty you can bounce quarters off of. And in my personal favorite show of physical strength, Ryder lifts her up by the back of the thighs and brings her in closer. Whoa, Whoa, dear Fox News. It is 2017 and they put nipples on a human female. I repeat, Mass Effect Andromeda has human nipples. Ashley defied anatomy, so Cora could defy gravity. We see exactly what was under that suit as Ryder walks her over to a table. More makeout, and then I'm sorry, I'm not often attracted to the player character. Scott, he's got his own booty, and he got his own moves. I was not expecting that level of thrusting in Andromeda, but damn. Scott Ryder thrusted so Ascended Astarian could become the next Ryder. Holy shit. And now V's coughing. Dying.
Sorry. I held in a laugh too much and it turned into a cough. Who else does that? Yeah, I actually wasn't prepared to see actual thrusting in a video game. Like
Right?
it was undeniable movement, that's for sure. The only thing that I didn't like, and I'm not saying that people can't have asses like that, but like it kind of gave BBL. And I was like, there's somebody at BioWare who's got an ass fetish. Like that's someone on the Mass Effect dev team. Like, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine, but her sciatica is all it's got to be bad. Like the level of sway back, like an old mare who's been ridden too many times on the trail. That's all I could think of. I was like, you need physical therapy, Cora. That's not where your pelvis should be. Anyway, other than that, though, great scene. Happy to be I don't know, the lordosis. Yeah, exactly. My sister said the lordosis. As someone who's had that, it didn't do that to my butt though. So good for you, Cora, I guess. Anyway, I do love the fact that you can choose how you want it to play out, though. Like, I can't state that enough, how much I love that you can choose with Cora. If you, as a player, prefer the cuddle option, it will highlight the emotional connection and trust between Ryder and Cora. It's a more tender and intimate moment, emphasizing the depth of their bond rather than focusing on physical passion. For Cora, this option reinforces her more restrained and controlled personality. While she has strong feelings for Ryder, choosing to cuddle aligns with her careful, thoughtful approach to relationships, which ties into her disciplined nature as a soldier and her background with the Asari Commandos. It also reflects the possibility that Cora, despite her tough exterior, still values emotional security over physical passion, especially in such a complex situation as their mission in Andromeda. It speaks to her need for emotional trust before fully diving into a physical relationship. But if the players prefer the sex option, it shifts the tone toward more physical intimacy, showcasing the culmination of the emotional and romantic tension that has built up over the course of the game. It's a passionate moment that represents the complete trust and attraction between the two of them. Here, Cora's typically guarded and disciplined personality is contrasted with the openness and passion she displays in this scene. It's a way of showing that the relationship has evolved from professionalism and emotional tension to full physical and emotional connection. This can also symbolize her personal growth throughout the game, moving from a character focused on duty and control to someone who's more open to love and vulnerability. It's a reflection of how Ryder's influence has allowed her to feel safe enough to embrace this level of intimacy. This choice between a cuddle or a sex literally impacts the headcanon for this relationship and the actual canon events of your playthrough. I think it's a brilliant way to give players that much more control over their RPG. We really, really need to see more of this in video game romance.
I believe you also have the same option with Liam, but I'm not sure about PB. I don't know how that works. But we will find out
with
when.
research. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, wow. I really now. What about like Cora as? mm, I mean, it's just it was perfection. The fact that we get the two different things, I really wish that I could put them together. But if not, it just depends on the playthrough, I guess. Who is your writer and what are they there for? Or even if it happened on two separate nights. I don't know. I'm trying to change a game that I have no effect over anymore. So, if you are looking for a happily ever after because you've been scarred for life by the Reapers, Andromeda basically has it. You defeat the cat, and you get to take control of the Meridian yourself, and the future is looking quite bright. Now, do you want a sappy romance ending to go with it too? That's what we're all here for. But too bad. You romanced Cora, and she's got work to do.
There you are.
And here you are. Lucky us.
How's Sarah?
Much better.
There might be two writers around soon. Imagine. The Hyperion's forming scientific teams. Gotta start studying what we have. I may have helped them organize.
It's what you do. Meridian won't know what hit it.
And we should think about what's next. This is a new cradle for humanity. That's a big idea. Bigger than I'd imagined. So maybe building those teams was smart. Small steps to understand all this. Until we're at the top of the mountain.
And seeing the next horizon.
Can't deny it. I'm game for more. With so much power in our hands, you think it'll be okay?
They've got us to keep watch. Your smarts, my irresistible charm.
You can't fix every problem with charm, sweetheart.
I can try.
Well, I know I can't resist you. I'm just concerned for everyone else. Everything Meridian could do.
Cora, sometimes you just have to leap out there and see where it takes you.
Yeah? I guess you do. Whatever happens, you gave everyone an incredible gift. Nice job, Pathfinder.
Sweetheart. Like that just felt so natural and like not a forced little nickname or anything like that. It was just like that was a non-sarcastic, randomly spurted sweetheart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need more pet names in video game romance too. So, and like this isn't specifically like a romance scene, but that is a specific romance dialogue part in the scene that everyone would get talking to Cora at the end of the game. And I like that. Just thrown casually into conversation, just sprinkle it around, have an effect ripple outward into every part of the game. That is what I want to see. Although Andromeda does still suffer the pitfalls of all, not all, but many games that have video game romance, which is you has the sex scene and then you never see them again. Nothing ever happens after that. Um, I mean, I can suspend my disbelief with Cora because she's on she's on her work, she's doing her shit. I get it. There's a lot to be done after you get Meridian and defeat the cat. But I don't know. I just wish there's a little bit more sweetness at the end, a little bit more content as usual. I know it costs a lot. I'm really glad for what they did give, that they had like the options and stuff, because there are still romances, Vetra, who, you don't get to see anything. There's no sex scene at all. And when I was researching for this script, this episode, a lot of the comments on the video for her romance called out the fact that like they really think visually they look so much better than the other romance cutscenes and even just regular cutscenes. And I have to agree, when you're watching them, they do kind of seem higher quality. So I like where the priorities are. I just want that spread out, share the wealth with the other romance options. But for Cora specifically, I like her. I like her romance a lot. I think it makes sense within the context of the world, her reaction to it, and the fact that it happens. Either way, though, as long as you do her loyalty mission, she's still a really great bestie. Like, I love just having her. That's actually something else that I like about her is the fact that you don't have to romance her to help her gain that sense of belonging. It's just an added layer of belonging when you do romance her, and it's the true definition of no one's completing anyone. They're just making each other stronger, um, with support, because we all need support.
Oh, agreed. I also need my daughter to quit talking in her sleep and freaking me out.
Dude, kids, man, especially because we're nearing Halloween. If my daughter starts saying stuff like she has had a invisible friend, and there's also this Elsa doll that she has messed up with like makeup and nail polish and too much hair brushing. And I'm just like, I don't like dolls, and I don't like you talking about people I don't know or that I know are not real. Kids say creepy shit all the time, and I don't like it. Especially, we don't need sleep talking added onto that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm. Okay. I do wish that there was more to the romance itself. I like it when there are a lot of different moments that are locked behind the romance things, but not necessarily not character development that's locked behind a romance paywall, for lack of better terms. Um, but just little lines of dialogue, little moments, the mundane moments. Let's bring back the mundane moments that we used to talk about and figure out what that would be like with with the Andromeda people, with the Andromeda romances. We're always going to advocate for more. Always.
Yeah, they don't need to be big scenes. I'll take like a little date, or I'll take just some extra dialogue thrown in that nobody else gets. I 1000% agree with no character development behind a romance paywall. Just give me extra stuff. Give me what we used to call back in the day when I liked anime, fan service or filler fluff episode where it was just silliness. Like that's what I'm talking about. Doesn't need to advance the plot, doesn't need to do anything other than just more time, screen time with them. That's it.
Uh, don't get punched in the face. I plan on kissing those lips tonight. Like give me little romance specific barks while we're out in battle.
Yeah. So, if you are wanting to avoid what you are calling Veilguard spoilers when in fact it's just marketing, don't listen to the rest of this episode. But like I was watching the IGN video and they interviewed Corinne Bush, and she was saying how she romanced Emmerich, and when you're on the battlefield he'll say stuff like, oh, well done sweetheart, or well done dear, or something. Like I'm sure all of the romances do that, because I can't see BioWare doing, well, actually I guess I have seen BioWare many times do something for one and not the rest of them. But I'd like to think they have learned. So the fact that even one of them, like, I love that. Please, I can't wait to hear like my romance say stuff, because we've had games where they'll react if you fall in battle or something.
Mhm.
But the way Corinne talked about it, it sounded like just a positive little good job, from your romance during battle. Like, how cute is that? I need more of that.
It started with Jack. If you romance Jack, the final line that she says is, "You better not die out there. I'm getting laid tonight." Um, and then Shepard dies, but sad face.
Wow. Depression. Yeah, no, I love that. Just little bits, little bits. That's all I need. Tiny little sprinkles. That's what I mean when I say like I want it to affect the world, because to
Mhm.
me, my world has changed as the player character when I have a romance. And you'll have a cutscene where your character that you're romancing will tell you that, like, oh wow, I never expected this, or whatever, like Astarion being like, what are you? He's
Mhm.
genuinely puzzled. But like outside of the cutscene, where else do we hear that it has affected anyone? Like, I want the other companions to comment on it. Like,
And
they
not
did that,
just once. Not
and
just
not just
once.
once, like regularly, all the time. Like, I want stuff to be affected. I want them to not just comment on romance either. I want them to comment on what you just did, how you've changed the world, what world state are you in now from what choice you've made, stuff like that. Like when Jack was like, bite me, or better yet, bite her because she probably likes it. Stuff like that. I need that in regular conversation. Okay? I want that in barks, as Jen said, not just in cutscenes. I love that. I need that shit. I need it. Okay? Please and thank you.
So Andromeda, Cora. Hi, welcome to the Two Girls One Ship podcast where we love tits, tats, Turians, and tangents.
In peaches.
Pages. But seriously, Cora's got an amazing ass.
Yeah. Like, what's her squat routine? How many stairs are there on the Nexus? Like, what
There are a
happened?
lot of stairs.
Yeah, but why doesn't everyone else have that cake? Like, Cora has good genetics or a great surgeon. I don't know.
She's got Uncle Cerberus.
Oh, right. I forgot. She has
Uncle
rich
Cerby.
human money. No, she doesn't. I don't believe that at all. Like, there's no way. Maybe that's, or maybe what if she was like in this awful human first family, and then because she's so biotically strong, she goes and she like works at the Asari, and she's like, wait, but Asari are awesome, and then she's the shame of her family, which is why she left. But then maybe that's why she never tried that hard to find her parents, because maybe they sucked. Maybe like Jack Harper's her uncle or something, the
Yeah.
racist uncle at Thanksgiving, humans first. I don't know. I'm positive they're related in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or what if
All
it's her
right.
dad and he's mad that the Asari took her because
Well,
she
that's another running theory too, is that it is dad, because if somebody were to be that gifted biotically, you don't think that the elusive man had a hand in it?
Yeah.
Because there was like this whole thing about how the elusive man intentionally crashed a ship with, what's it called? Oh my
Lyrium.
god. Yes, with lyrium, with Mass Effect lyrium. Um,
Wasn't it
it's this. It is too late
wow.
at night. I have been awake for far too long
It's like on
for
the
me to
tip of
even
my
think.
tongue.
It's not iridium. It's not the helium-3. It's the stuff that you get from Omega.
Hey
Aria
Siri,
promises it to you.
what is the special element in Mass Effect that gives people biotic powers?
The special element in Mass Effect that gives people biotic powers is Element Zero, also known as EZO.
I have Alex Rego.
Ezo.
So thank you, Alex Wilton Reagan. Okay. Yeah, Element Zero, EZO.
Yeah. Okay. So Jack Harper, the elusive man, was intentionally crashing Ezo into planets to make more biotic humans. So he very much could have done that to his niece, daughter, niece.
Gross. Daughter niece. Okay, on that note.
Okay, on that note, we are sorry that it went off the rails today, but honestly, Cora is amazing, and I totally would romance her. And if you like what you are hearing, please be sure to leave a review on iTunes or on Spotify and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can now find me on the Cyberpunk Lorecast with my co-host Toasty, where we explore the foundations of the past, the state of Night City today, and the news of the future for all things cyberpunk. You can also reach out to me on the Two Girls One Ship channel on the Robots Radio Discord, and come give us a follow on all the social medias and on patreon.com/Two Girls One Ship. Our theme music was composed by the ever-talented Pipeman Studios, and our artwork was designed by the esteemed Let's Not. Links are in the description, as well as a special link to a Google survey that I would absolutely love and adore if you filled out for me. We need that for our big family feud panel that is coming up at the end of September at the Portland Retro Gaming Expo.
Yes, please do it for my wife. I am also on the Robots Radio Discord and on our own Two Girls One Ship Discord server where we nerd out on all our favorite CGI significant others. Be sure to check out our live streams on Twitch on Fridays at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Our podcast episodes release on Mondays if you are a sad person who did not subscribe to our Patreon. But at least you get one good thing on a Monday.
So thanks for listening. And remember that beauty is in the eye of the controller.
That never gets old.
No, never gets old. Okay, all right. This is gonna take a while to edit. Go check on my baby. Actually, she's doing okay right now.
It's good. You do what you need to do.
Yeah.
You can even just do the bare minimum and then send it to me because I just have to go to ballet tomorrow. And that's all the plans I have until Sunday morning. And we have to work.
Who was I with that we made it? Oh, I was with Taylor and Wynn. It was at the house. Sunday morning came on Sunday morning, and then we were talking Saturday afternoon, maybe. I don't even fucking remember days now. We decided that we were going to make a playlist with all song titles with the word Sunday in it and just see how different the mood could be.
Oh, yeah. I have a playlist for California songs because I'm originally from California. For those of you who don't know, I'm from the Valley. Not the San Fernando Valley, but the one next to it. So one of the valleys. Anyway, yeah, I made a playlist about that. I wonder how many songs have the title or have Sunday in the title.
Quite
Probably
a
a lot.
few.
Yeah. Oh no, I
But
definitely want to go to the sniff spot with you. What time is that? My sister. Anyway, she can
okay.
text me. Okay, bye
Yes.
everybody.
Bye.
Good night.
Good night.